亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear friends.
今天是我们清明功德念佛班的第二天。
So today is day
还
2
是收到
of the
了大
Qingming
家
merit
一些
chanting
关于
class.
清明相关的一
I
些问题。
received some
我看这些问
questions
题呢，
about the
只能证
Qingming
明说我们
festival.
很多人真的不懂。
And
不懂
when I
的话
received the
就
questions,
是就会我
well,
们走
I
错路，
understand a lot of
做
you
错事。
actually, you really
就
don't know.
像
So
从来没
you
见过
might
城市
walk on
的
the
红绿
wrong
灯
way
的
or
因为
do
我不
wrong
懂，我就可以
things.
乱闯，
And
那就不
so
会出
you
问题
will,
嘛。
yeah,
一
you
定会的。
might have
所以
problems.
呢，今天会解
Well,
答一些相关的
absolutely.
问题。
So today I will answer some questions. So Joyce and Christine, you can just feel free to answer questions. So Joyce said, now after the class, a lot of our friends now understand the importance of honoring our ancestors and the importance of the Qingming festival, and everybody wants to do it correctly. So they're asking when they are honoring the ancestors, what kind of offering would be appropriate, and what kind of mindset they should have, and what kind of attire they should wear, and yeah, so things like that.
这是一个很普遍的问题。
So thank you,
就
Grandmaster.
是
Grandmaster says,
通
yes, this is a
常
very
我们带
common
的这个贡
question.
品呢，首先
Usually,
是以
the
食物
offerings
为
we
主，
bring
有
are
食物，
mainly
有烧的
food.
这个冥币纸钱，
So we have food,
还
we
有
have
水果，
those joss
甚
paper,
至
we
说
have
有
fruit,
这个祖先可能还喝酒的哈。
and
我现在讲这
maybe
个
some
和佛教戒
ancestors,
律
they
是
also
两回
drink
事。
wine or
像这
alcohol,
个
and
民
so we
俗
bring those
的
too.
这
And
个
so
大众的一个
I'm just
习惯的
talking
问题，
about
我
the
就会讲民俗
tradition,
习
the
惯。
culture.
我们不要把佛教的戒律
So
和所
do
有的事
not
情混合在一
combine
起。
the
所以我所知
Buddhist
道的呢，就
precepts
是
in
真实的
here.
告诉
We're
大
just
家。
talking about the culture here.
对，
So this is what I know
先是
about the
带，
culture.
一定要别
So
忘记，
first,
纸钱
never
就是冥币，
forget
就是在
the
阴间花的钱
joss
哈。
paper,
所以
those
在
kind
我
of
们小时
paper
候呢，
money,
会有用黄
silver
标纸砸出来的那种
sheet.
钱，就是过去铜钱的样子的
Yeah,
哈。
and then
就是
sometimes they're
黄标
made
纸。
into
到
those
后来呢，
coins,
就有
and
人印刷
later
这种像
they
像我们用的那
start
个钱
to
币一样的纸币，
manufacture and
我们
print
统称叫
those
冥币
like the
啊，是这样，
bills,
就是在
and
阴
which
间
is
用的这个
used
钱
in
币
the
啊。
other world.
对，那一定要适当的多带一些。
And it's
那
better
还有
to
呢，
bring
再就是
more.
食物，这个你
Another
的
thing
往
is
生的
food.
长辈祖
So
先爱吃的
those
食物，爱吃的
departed
食物通
those
常你就是
ancestors, you'd better
知道
bring
你
the food that
和
you
你比较
know that
熟
they
悉的长
like.
辈，对不对？
So
但是呢，
especially those
那你
seniors
不熟
or
悉的长
ancestors
辈
that you
爱
are
吃什么，
familiar with. But what about
所
those
以
who
几
you're
种都要
not
带一些
familiar with? So you
啊。
need to
通
bring
常我们在
therefore you
祭
need
祖
to
的
bring
时
all
候，
kinds
一
of
般都会
fruit.
带
And
上，
so when
像
we
北
go
方来说
honor
哈，
go to
是
honor
那
them
种大
in North
馒头
China,
啊，
they usually
蒸得
would
圆圆
bring
的那种
those
馒头，
big steamed buns.
甚至还有里面包糖的
And
糖
sometimes they
包子
even
啊，
have
花卷，
sugar inside, or they make those
还有他们爱
you
吃
know
的其他的一些
swirls,
食物，我也说
steamed
不清了。
swirls,
比如说
and
爱吃面条
maybe
啊，
they like
对
noodles.
水
I
饺、
don't know,
包子
or
都
maybe they
可以
like
啊，
dumplings
爱
or
吃米饭也可以，
rice.
是吧？有些说我
Yeah,
爱吃日本
these
寿
are
司，
all
可以，
good. Oh, if
多
you
买
they
一
like
点就好。
sushi, fine. Yes, you just buy all
再
kinds
还有
of
什么？
these food.
对，
And
再就
what
是水果
else?
类，
And yes,
哎，
fruit.
水果类多带几种就好了。
So you can bring many different kinds of fruit. So, Grandmaster, in North China, say for example, my ancestors, they've never had durian, or maybe, you know, those southern fruit. Maybe we think that these are very good food.
因为很
We would
多
like them to
一个
try
是就
these.
是
Are
世
we
界各地
allowed?
一个
Yeah,
国家
like
分南北方的水
mangosteen.
果蔬菜不一样，
Yeah,
现在
in
交通比较便
different
利，
places, the
所以的
fruits
话买一
might
些
be
不同的水
different.
果
And
给
now
这个祖
transportation
先
is easy.
去
Now
供上
we
去，
can
我
have
相信他们很
more
开心的
kinds of
啊。
fruit. And if you
对，
offer many
但是
different
说到
kinds
这
of fruit,
些
I believe they will be
大
happy.
的这些食物哈，包
And
括水果大的，比如
when we
苹果
talk about
啊、
big
梨
kinds
啊
of food
等
like
等的这些
apples,
大的水果呢，
pears,
它也讲究一个数字
and
的一个
the
说法。
number of the fruit, how
对，
many
其实原
apples,
则
how
上就是
many of them,
带双
that
数还是
number
单
is
数
important, whether we should bring even number or odd number. So from what I understand, in different places, their traditions and cultures are different. According to the middle part of China, usually when you go to make offering to the ancestors, it's in an even number, like 4 or 8 or 12 or something like that. Yeah, so when we make offerings to Buddhas or deities, it's in odd number. So this is according to the yin and yang, and there's a reason for that. Of course, you need to respect the tradition of your hometown or where they resided before. In the ancient times, they sometimes would kill some animals, and you can do it according to the tradition. I don't mind, because this is like honoring ancestors. This is not a Buddhist ceremony. And if you know that your grandfather has died, and if he likes a specific kind of alcohol, maybe it's an alcohol, a white wine, or maybe a kind of beer, then you can bring that brand there. When you are honoring them, you need to bring things that they like. So yeah, mostly like this. That's my answer. Any other questions? So Christine said when they also care, like everybody is asking, like when they go there, what kind of clothes they should wear, what kind of attire. Well, if you do not mention about the clothes, then I will forget. Yeah, well, if you are not very poor, when you go to different places, we usually wear, different clothes, different kind of clothes and different colors, right? If you go to a wedding, say for example, especially Chinese, they would usually wear red, right? And ladies, they would even put some maybe headband or some decorations in red or yellow. So it gives the feeling of happiness and auspiciousness. But if you go to a graveyard to honor the ancestors, the color should be usually very simple, very dark. So do not wear something really colorful like red, or little girls do not wear like a very beautiful dress and show your nice figure or something. That's not the time to wear those kind of clothes. And so be very careful. So the color should be very solemn. Say, for example, if you go somewhere to see a lawyer or a government official, usually you will wear a suit, right? And if maybe even in your work you're just wearing jeans or shorts even, but when you go to see a lawyer or a government official, you usually will wear something more solemn. So even just in the social etiquette, you are also take care of the clothes, what you need to wear. And so when you go to honor your ancestors, you also need to wear something solemn. It's not a tour, it's not a field trip, it's not like chatting with your friend and just have a drink or something. You can wear something casual, but this is not. And especially ladies, in very cold weather, some young ladies, they like to be very beautiful, so they wear very, short skirt, and they wear very tight clothes, and these are not suitable for honoring ancestors. And so whether you're a man or woman, definitely you need to wear something solemn. You cannot just wear whatever you like. I don't mind if if the souls that if they are happy or not happy, that let's put it aside. What if some souls who really like your clothes, then you might go insane, and I don't know what can happen. What if that soul suddenly like you or love you, and then so especially ladies, try to wear something very solemn. So do not wear clothes that will show like very sexy. So do not expose your legs, and it's better to wear long pants, and clothes should be also, the top should also be longer. Do not expose your belly, and also it's not very appropriate to put a lot of makeup. If you go to a wedding, of course you can wear a lot of makeup, but when you go to honor the ancestors, it's the opposite. Even you can wear some makeups, but you know how to do the makeup, because this is serious, this is solemn, this is like memory, and to offer the remembrance of them. And so do not go to like very bright and red, and also whether we're going to a public cemetery, or if you just go to the graveyard in the hometown, sometimes they don't care, and then they went there and they were still laughing and speaking very loud, or talking jokes, and or say a lot of things about die or live or living and dying. And Grandmaster said I did see some people who are like these. They saw a lady crying, in front of a tomb, and then they thought maybe it's interesting, and maybe the crying lady was even talking, and so people, when they passed by, they didn't know, so they even would cover their mouths and smile. That's not good. And so everybody there shouldn't be any smile. That's not a place for having fun or smile or laugh. If you want to have fun, you don't go there to the cemetery. Well, we honor our ancestors for our future happiness, but that at the time when you're honoring them and commemorate them, it's not the time to laugh. And you should not laugh at other people. Never laugh at other people when they're crying. Maybe they have just lost their parents or somebody, and they're so sad. And if you go laugh at them, then you might attract evil spirits. And so you need to be very respectful and very solemn in the whole time. Also, in a city, maybe in the cemeteries, in the city, sometimes they have washrooms. But if you go to the hometown, maybe nearby, they don't even have a washroom or a toilet or something, because, nearby they are all tombs. So if you want to pee or something, you might need to be careful. Maybe you should drink less water before you go, because you don't want to offend some souls. Don't think that this is just just in the field, it doesn't matter. Well, Grandmaster said that's very true. Before we heard if you go to an open field, a farm, or a very open land, a lady who cannot find a place to go to the washroom, and they couldn't find anything to hide, and they couldn't find a tree or somewhere to hide, and so this is quite embarrassing. And eventually they suddenly find something that they can hide behind, but that's just a tombstone or something. Well, Christine said, no, that's not appropriate. Yeah, Grandmaster said, this is a very serious problem. This is not just, a small issue. There's at least, there's about 1% of the possibility to catch the evil spirit. Maybe this lady, she's not, irrespectful. She really needs to go to the washroom, and it really is inconvenient, and there's no washroom there, and it's in the North China in the fall, the land, there's no crops, and it's just completely flat land, and you cannot see anything to hide, and so they suddenly see like a tomb that they can hide behind, but that's not very good. You cannot, it can attract evil energy. And so, so when you go to commemorate your ancestors, you need to bring 2 sets of food. One set is for, to offer to your ancestors, and then another set is for yourself. And so because, maybe that's your grandfather or your grandmother, and when you sit over there by the tomb, you don't feel, you're not afraid, and you eat something, and then you report all these years. Maybe you have drive or walked for a long time, and sometimes even just 2 hours, it's long. And at home, it's very important for you to eat less and drink less, especially for ladies. Less water, so you don't have to go to the washroom. And after you have already finished the whole worshipping, and then you leave the cemetery or the tombs, and then you can maybe go to a gas station or somewhere to go to the washroom, and then you bring the food. So you bring some separate food just for yourself, okay? Grandmaster, if you don't tell us, we don't know. Sometimes when the people come to me for help, they told me what happened. And this kind of illnesses, when they got it, it's like doctors cannot help. And so Joyce said, sometimes there's 1 or 2 children, they're very close to the departed person. So after the maybe the worshiping, and then that 1 or 2 person said, okay, maybe you can leave first, and then we'll stay here and talk to the grandparents a little longer. Is it appropriate? So Grandmaster says, basically it's best if they come together and leave together. There's only one scenario when you have to separately leave. Say, for example, maybe it's their parents who is in the tomb, like who has died. And so maybe they have like 3 or 4 children come together, but they didn't come together. And maybe you have already started to burn the joss paper, and another brother or sister, they have already, they just arrived. And maybe sometimes siblings, they have grudges, or they don't have a good relationship, so they don't even talk. Because especially when the parents have already died, the children all have their separate homes, separate families. And so when the parents are alive, they still have a family, a big family. So in a Chinese character, there's a dot on top of the character home. And so once the dot is removed, then it becomes a completely different character. And So that top dot is the parents, and so maybe they've had a lot of conflicts regarding, their previous conflicts and their, who paid more or who looked after the parents more. And after the parents have already passed away, they still have these grudges, and maybe they will come, all of them will come to honor their parents, and so they will separately arrive and separately, leave. But if you come together, maybe 8 or 10 people come together, and then when you leave, you should leave together. And so when you are facing, ghosts and the other world, you'd better be careful, and do not take anything from the tomb. Maybe you like the flower there. No, don't pick it. Oh, you like the flower. Maybe it's a pink flower with even a purple rim, but never pick it. You don't know what it is. Don't touch it. The beautiful flower not necessarily is a true beautiful flower. And if you see something look like a porcelain or jade, never touch it, never pick up. It might be a bone. Maybe there's something that has worn by the dead person, and maybe it's been digged out by some animals, so don't pick up. So this is just my kind reminder. Thank you, Grandmaster. These remindings are very, very important. So, the food and all the things that we need to bring, and the clothes, and all these are very important. And another thing, very important. So if the ancestral tomb, if they have been damaged or moved, so the descendant needs to pay great attention to that. And if there's damage, then need to repair as soon as possible. So if the tomb has been removed, would it affect the fortune of the descendants? Grandmaster says absolutely. So let's talk about, let's leave, all these, the cities are constructing new buildings or something. Let's put that aside. If you can choose a place, everybody will have to leave this world, and this tomb is very important. So when we talk about feng shui, so there is a feng shui of your living house, and there's also the feng shui of this cemetery, your tomb. And so say, for example, your parents, your grandparents, your grand-grandparents, and well, one day it could be ourselves, right? So a lot of people, they will also ask a feng shui master to look at the place, or maybe a very high-level monk, or maybe if they say this is a very good, very auspicious place, they call it, it's like a treasure location. If it's a treasure location, then some people might, a lot of people would pay a lot of money to buy this piece of land, because feng shui, not only the living house has feng shui, but the tombs also have feng shui. The underground water, a lot of feng shui masters, they can predict, or they would think, in the future there might be a road passing here. So good feng shui masters, if they can watch that for you, and it will really help us, especially, first of all, help the departed. And the most benefit is actually for the living, the descendants. So for the living house, say for example in Vancouver, we usually will see the land, whether it has good energy, and look at the trees. Are the trees growing very prosperously? And what about the tombs? Do we also look at the tombs, whether they also have good grass and trees? And yes, that's a key point. So Grandmaster says the tombs are the house for the departed, and so when they depart, is that an ending? No, they have left the human realm, but they have entered or reborn in another world. And so this tomb, or if the feng shui of the tomb is good, it will be good for the fortune of the departed person in the other world. And so if the tomb has very good grass growing and good trees growing, is it a good feng shui? Whether it's for the living house or it's for the cemetery or the tombs, if there's always good grass and trees and very healthy and abundant plants, then it's good. But if it's like a desert, it doesn't grow anything, I feel it's not good. Say for the same kind of land. Where Vancouver Center is, it's called Richmond Center. There are some places they don't have any, like some streets, they don't have any trees. It's just such a small city, and different streets have very big differences. But look at some streets that they have very strong, very big trees, and every house have very nice trees and garden. It's not that they spend more money, it's just that the land is better and they have more, maybe better energy. And so whether you're choosing your house for the living, or you choose the cemetery for the departed, you should always find the land that has good energy, that grows abundant grass and trees. So if on the tomb there for 10 years or 20 years there's never been any grass, then I'm not talking about the tombs that you actually cover the tomb with cement, but if it is a tomb with earth, then if there's no grass growing, then it's not good. It's like a dead land, so it's not good. Any other questions? Yes, sorry about that, lots of questions. So some people, they cannot go back home to honor their ancestor. Is there another way, an alternative way to pay respect and commemorate our ancestors? Grandmaster said yes. Before, I actually have already mentioned. For myself, my parents have already passed away to a certain time, like the anniversary of their death, and I will burn some joss paper or burn some clothes or something. When I go to different countries, I don't know their laws, but I will still honor them, and I will buy, usually it's hard to find those. Actually, you have to go to some Chinese community. They have those specific shops that sells like some stores. They sell like Buddhist tables, altars, and they also sell those paper lotus flowers or paper scriptures and ingots, and also joss paper, and absolutely you need a bucket with a lot of holes because with the holes, air can come in. Yeah, if you yeah, after you burn the paper, you can cover it so that the ashes will not fly all around, and you still have the air. And so when you are burning, usually when you burn, it's after like 9 p.m. and yeah, in the summer, if it is 9 p.m., it's too bright. It's not good. You need to wait until it's dark. Only after it's dark, then the souls will arrive, and then you burn them, and then you can talk to, and you say, oh, dad or mom, and so whatever way you call them before, when they were alive, so you call them the same way, and then on the paper, say for example, the paper money or paper things, and then you can write their names, and even the address, and definitely they will receive. Say for example, you had a dream that they are very cold, but after you burn them, they're already like, oh, they're already fed, and so they're different. So you can remotely commemorate them. Also, you can go to a local temple or Buddhist place where you can do some rituals, and you can ask the masters or monks there to help you to do that. In our center, if you're close to our center, you can offer lights in our center. So there are different ways, so it's convenient to do it. You can remotely honor them and commemorate them. And so a friend Jenny has a question. So her parents' tomb are in Beijing, but their ancestral tombs are in Hebei province. So they're considering whether they need to bring back their parents' tomb back to the ancestral tombs. Their ancestral cemetery is big enough. So, well, Grandmaster said, we cannot decide. I will have to respect the departed, the wish of the departed. So before they die, they definitely, if they didn't had an accident, if they just get aged and then they pass away, they usually will give some instruction. They might say, oh, I want to be together with your grandfather. I need to be filial to them. So you need to follow their instruction. But some of their wills are not reasonable. Say, for example, you're a Chinese people and your ancestors are in China. So if the parents said, oh, I haven't immigrated to the United States when I'm alive, so after I die, I want to be immigrated to the United States, this might be quite hard. But there are some, maybe there are some departed person who said something that is impossible to realize, and sometimes maybe because they're too old, their mind is not very clear, and if they have some reasonable wishes, so maybe you need to spend some time or some money to fulfill their wishes. So thank you, Grandmaster. And also, thank you, Grandmaster. There are some of our online friends, they really so they want to know if something happened, can they go to honor the ancestors? Say, for example, for those pregnant women or very little kid or very old seniors. So who is not suitable to go to the graveyard? So Grandmaster says, in my mind, usually healthy kid after 1 year old, they can follow their parents to go there. But if they were sick at the time, or maybe seniors, if they were sick, then they're not suitable to go to the cemetery. So for a little kid, if they are after 3 years old, if it is convenient, especially boys, you better go to offer ancestors. Yeah, so whenever you have some troubles, you will pray for your ancestors' protection and blessings. When you have no way, you would very it's like very natural. It's probably written in your genes that you will naturally ask for their protection. So their existence, even if they can just guide you, it would be good. And so little kid, after they were born, to go back and go back to their ancestral tomb. And so parents definitely should bring them to honor the ancestors, so that they have this concept of ancestors. And this will affect your fate and your future. And so to honor ancestors, the earlier the better. So between 1 to 3 years old is already okay. And if you're too old to go there, maybe your ancestors don't recognize you. So don't be too late to start going there. But pregnant women don't go there. If you already know that you're pregnant, then don't go there. Also, a sick person or very old seniors, or they're too old, very inconvenient, or it's too painful for them to walk or something, or maybe their mind is not very healthy, and if they're not very steady, because you don't want them to disturb the ancestors. So this is also another state of sickness, right? And so sick people are not suitable to go to the cemetery. And those who have just had a surgery, like within 6 months of a surgery, or is going to have a surgery, actually within 3 months, like if you're going to have a surgery within 3 months, or you just had a surgery 3 months ago, then it's not suitable to go. So mostly just these people are not very suitable to go to the cemetery. So among those people who are suitable to go, so what about, so if a girl hasn't, still single, hasn't get married, of course you will honor your own parents, ancestors. And if the girl has already get married, then you need to go to honor her husband's ancestors. And can she still honor her own ancestors? So what is the sequence? Okay, Grandmaster says Chinese people in different places, they might have different tradition. Ladies, eventually most people will get married. So ever since we have the written record, usually in the middle of China, in the old times, the women will take their husband's last name. So that's why they will put husband's last name in front of their own name. Yeah. So after you get married, so that means after you get married, you belong to your husband's family. So the married woman, first of all, you should respect and honor your husband's family, ancestors. But if your grandmother actually brought you up, and your grandmother is from your mother's, from your own family. Right now, you're married, you have a very good family, right? So you need to have a sequence, a priority. So first of all, the main priority is your husband's ancestors. But you also want to honor your own ancestors. Say, for example, your grandmother. Maybe the first day you honor your husband's ancestors, and after that, you can honor your own ancestors from your maiden family. Yeah. So there is the priority. Some women, they're very they're very tough. They say, oh, my husband has to listen to me, and they'll say, okay, go to my home first and honor my ancestors first. Maybe you can have a lot of power, but do you know what this will cause? This can cause conflicts in the marriage. Even this doesn't happen on yourself. It can maybe happen on your children or your descendants. So don't do that. If you do according to what I instruct, it's auspicious. Otherwise, it is not auspicious. And so, according to this rule, for girls who have not get married, even if you are 35 years old, as long as you haven't get married, you can honor only your own ancestors. But if you get married but then divorced and you haven't remarried, haven't get married again, and so you don't use your husband's last name, right? So when you honor your ancestors, you would honor your own ancestors. Yeah, a lot of our online friends are asking questions like these. Yeah, because now the marriage sometimes changes, right? So it's sometimes can be complicated. And what about if they get married again? So who should they honor first? Maybe they had their second or third marriage. And yeah, so what is the priority to honor the ancestors? So first of all, is this lady who she should honor first? And what about also the child? If the child is from her ex-husband, so who should the child honor first? Yeah, so there are many possibilities. For so if you marry again, maybe you married Mr. Li first and then divorced, and then you married Mr. Zhang. So now you will honor Mr. Zhang's ancestors, so your current husband's ancestors. You can stop honoring Mr. Li's ancestors anymore because you are not the daughter-in-law of that family anymore. When you marry that family, then you usually will also be buried in their cemetery with that family. Yeah. So if you marry Mr. Zhang, then you will in the future will bury with Mr. Zhang's cemetery. And so and what about the child? That's a new question. So if the child followed the mother, maybe one to the second marriage or the third marriage, so if the child is very clear-minded, and then definitely you cannot avoid to go and follow your mother and your current father's ancestors. Say, for example, right now the husband is Mr. Zhang, then you go to Mr. Zhang's, honor Mr. Zhang's ancestor first. But this child, you can also go to, because you're Mr. Li's son, so you can also go to honor Mr. Li's ancestors if you have the ability to go there. The mother should understand him, because this child has the blood connection, because he is a child of Mr. Li, even though the marriage has been ended, but it has nothing to do with the child. This child, whoever is his father, if he continues to honor his father's ancestors, it's definitely reasonable. So you can help the child to become a respectful and a virtuous child. So as the mother, you should support him. Thank you, Grandmaster. Okay, so also, so what about those adopted and foster parents? Of course, you would honor your direct blood relatives and ancestors. And what about those adopted parents? So you have an adopted father, adopted mother, or a foster mother, or foster parents, or do you also need to fulfill this responsibility? For some people, well, now we're talking about the very formally adopted. Some people, they are maybe very social. They just say, oh, this child is very cute, so okay, I'll be your adopted father, and you can just kowtow to me. And so if it's just a joke, then it's not very serious, and you don't have the responsibility. And later, and especially if you have had some conflicts and you stopped, talking about adopted anymore. But if you have very good relationship, and every festival you will do a ritual to kowtow to your foster father, parents, or in China, they sometimes will, they have their own parents, but then they will still call another parent their grandparents or something like that, and then they would always, give them presents or something like that, or call them grandparents or parents. And so these parents, even though they don't have blood connection with them, they didn't bring the child up, but the love between and the connection between these two generations are similar to the parents and the children, even though it's different. It's not as good as their real parents, but it's still much closer than any other friends or relatives. So I would recommend you also to honor these kind of parents. So in the agriculture society, what they call grandparents or parents. So maybe in the Western society, we sometimes call foster parents. It's a little bit different, but similar, adopted parents or foster parents. And so in the agriculture society, maybe if they have already had a very formal ceremony, and you always consider the parents as your adopted parents, and then say, for example, when those adopted parents, whenever they have some chores, the adopted child will always come to help, and whenever the adopted parent is sick, the adopted child would come and serve them. And so this adopted child becomes like they can inherit your assets. And then so all the debts and assets, this adopted child has the right and the responsibility to take over all of those, whether it's debt or assets. So for those, the Chinese people would call them like parents or grandparents. And so it depends on the relationship. So if you just koto and then you never have connections anymore, then as if it doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, if you say that maybe you had a wedding, but then you never see each other anymore for 30 years, so you're not couples, right? If the other if the husband or wife comes to ask for assets, then no, nobody will give you. Yeah, because it doesn't have the reality, the actual marriage. So the next question from Longquan Longmao Center, he or she said every year he would do some merits for his father. And then he dreamed of his father wearing very colorful clothes, and for over 20 years he's never seen his father so happy and wearing so good clothes, bright colored clothes. And his father drove a car to bring him to travel. So is this dream good? What does it mean? Is this good? Is this auspicious? So Grandmaster says, this dream, what this dream brings to you, this actually is a good dream. So this indicates that the departed father is very happy, very at ease, and at peace. So he just come to look at the child, and you travel together means that just to show you that he's very good. The dream is very happy, and when he's driving, it's very fast, right? In Chinese, happy literally can happiness. They sometimes in Chinese has the character fast, so it's very happy, very fast. Sometimes indicates very happy. And another friend, Jing Xiang, has a sharing, and he said his grandfather has already passed away 30 years. Every time he dreams of his grandfather, he can very clearly see that his grandfather is very serious and not happy. And so when he grew up, he made light offerings, and whenever there is a Qingming festival or other festivals, he would honor his grandfather and offer, joss paper and paper lotus flower. So last year he dreamed of his grandfather again, in the dream that he still know that his father already passed away, but he see that his grandfather is smiling and is also looks nice, and so he's very happy to share with grandfather, to share with Grandmaster. And this is a very auspicious dream, very happy. And so Joy said, oh, Jessie shared also her story. Because of the pandemic, she is overseas and her father died in China. She was very sad because she couldn't be with her father when he passed away. So she offered 49 days of light, and every single day she would chant Medicine Buddha's heart mantra for 1 hour and dedicate the merits to her father. And she would also volunteer. And later she heard that if ancestors are going to a good place, then they will send messages through dreams. light offering, she continued another 49 days of light offering. And so she prayed, after she heard Grandmaster Jin, she prayed very sincerely in front of Buddha, oh, please allow my father to show me a message so I know I know my father is good. And that very night she had a dream, and she said, oh, her father actually died because of an illness, but so her father told her that she's very happy from Monday to Sunday. She's happy every day, and she even said, don't worry, I'm with Buddha. And so that message is so clear. And when Jessie woke up in the dream, and she is overjoyed, but also with tears, like, yeah, she was so happy and so grateful for Grandmaster and Buddha and Bodhisattva's blessings, because she prayed that her father would tell her the message, and her father that very night came to her dreams and told her very happy news. And so, yeah, when we do the merits for our ancestors, definitely they will receive it and they will be auspicious, and it's so wonderful. Yeah. When the parents over there are very happy, when the ancestors are very happy, then all of us living will be happy. And so when our parents and seniors, they are still alive, we should be filial, and if they pass away, we should make merits for them to pay their debts and help them to release their souls, and on Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to release their souls. It's very, very auspicious and very effective. Wonderful. These are very good questions. So now let's start to chant Medicine Buddha's heart mantra. Let's chant.
贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰。玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰。兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩。卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈。天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔。吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰。贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰。玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰。兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩。卡迪梭哈，天塔，吽贝堪杰，贝堪杰，玛哈贝堪杰，兰扎萨摩，卡迪梭哈。 殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡对梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩 嘎对梭哈，殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎对梭哈。殿塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则， Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong Bekanze Bekanze Mahapekanze Lanza Samu Kade Soha Dien Ta Hong 제 백한제 마하백한제 런자사모 가데소하 디엔타 홍백한제 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 백한제 마하백한제 런자사모 가데소하 天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩 地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈，电塔吽贝堪则，贝堪则，玛哈贝堪则，兰扎萨摩，嘎地梭哈。我们恭敬合十，
So let's put our palms
为
together
我
with
们一切
respect.
有缘的祖先亡灵
So for all ancestors
我们回向给他，
and all the departed
为在最近
beings,
发生的战争中去世的
for
一切
all
亲人
those
朋友们，
who passed away in the recent
还有
war,
为最近的瘟疫
for all
最近几年的瘟疫
the
往生的朋
people
友们，
who passed away in the pandemic.
在各种各样的交通运输事故中往生的朋友们。
And for all of those who passed away in the accidents, in all traffic accidents, and for all of those wandering souls and lonely souls, wish Buddha light will shine on all of them, and they can all be guided to the Eastern Pure Land. Just now, I saw in the Eastern Lapis Lazuli world, it was a vast and vast field. There were yellow and pink and green little flowers, like countless flowers. It was a vast and boundless field, and there were all these little flowers appeared suddenly in this world, and they were not there before. It's all because of our chanting and all the merits that we did, all the merit that we dedicated to them so that they were born there. And so we hope that all of our ancestors will be released from the hell and be reborn in the Eastern Lapis Lazuli world. So in the East, there is a paradise. Medicine Buddha and all the Bodhisattvas guided all those souls that we have thought of to that auspicious Pure Land. This is something that has never happened before. So congratulate them and congratulate all of you. Oh, Joyce, you have something to say? Thank you, Grandmaster. So these days when we chant really well. And when we listen to your teachings, and we learned a lot. Yesterday, Grandmaster has introduced these beige outfit, but yesterday these beige outfits are not on Cibeiyin yet, and so a lot of our online friends were very anxious, and so this blessed beige outfit has already been posted on the Cibeiyin website. There are very limited numbers of them. And so these days, a lot of our online friends learned from Grandmaster to learn Dharma and learn the practice and also receive blessings. A lot of our online friends now realize the blessings and the protection of our blessed items, and so a lot of our friends have purchased from the Taiwan Cibeiyin website and North American website to protect themselves and their family. And Grandmaster is very, very compassionate. We've already received all these blessings, and in the last few years, Grandmaster also praised and rewarded those people. You know, even though these online friends have already received the blessings, and before Grandmaster rewarded them with some bonus light or some gifts, and to further the blessings. And at this Qingming festival time, Grandmaster think about those online friends again and raise a proposal of rewarding. And so I will share with you this great news. So this rewarding proposal from January the 1st, 2021 to March the 31st, 2022, if you purchase on Cibeiyin over $10,000 US, then Grandmaster will award them a very special prize. Well, what is that? Well, so Joy said, well, let's let Grandmaster disclose that. And if you purchase like from 2,000 to 2,999, you will also receive some blessings. So you need to calculate maybe. So from January the 1st to March the 31st, 2022, January the 1st, 2021 to March the 31st, 2022, if you purchased over $2,000 US, you have a prize, and if you purchase over 10,000, you have a very special prize. So let's pray and ask Grandmaster to disclose that. Grandmaster said, well, why don't you say that? Oh, you can tell everyone about the prize for those who purchase over 2,000. Oh, so all those beige outfit, the blessed beige outfit, if you purchased over 2,000 US, this you will be gifted this beige outfit. Yes, so this will give you for free, and so the customer service will contact you, and so you can choose the right size for either for yourself or for your family. If you want it for your for male or female size, yeah, both are fine. And some online friends, maybe Grandmaster thinks some other gifts will be even more appropriate than, say, for example, this Moonlight Bodhisattva gemstone, gemstone chanting beads. Yeah, also in Grandmaster's hands. Yeah, the whole. Oh, all these, yeah, from yesterday to today. So this is a very light blue, and these are natural beads, natural blue jade. It's called Moonlight Bodhisattva gemstone. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so people, those of you who have that special need, or special connection, maybe you will be gifted the Moonlight Bodhisattva gemstone chanting beads. Yeah, and the others will be gifted the beige outfit. You can choose either for yourself or for your parents or for your children. Yeah, maybe for some special friends, Grandmaster will choose either the chanting beads or maybe the some other gifts, and our customer service will contact you. And when they contact you, you can just let them know your size, and so that they can mail you the outfit, and so you can wear them right away. So grateful, Grandmaster. And Grandmaster said, as long as you like them. And Christine said, some of our online friends also asked, recently, maybe some of our friends has already sensed they like to wear maybe some of the blessed items that has been blessed by Grandmaster, so that they can feel free and safe to go to the cemetery or a graveyard. And so is there any blessed item that they can wear with them? And so could you introduce them? So Grandmaster said there are several kinds. So first, there are Vajra pesos. You can carry them with you or put them in your pocket. And secondly, it's either necklace or bracelet. So these chanting beads, you can hold them when you are driving or something. Yeah, so you can hold them and chant. So first of all, this is very auspicious, and secondly, it actually will help you to chant more, and eventually will form that habit, and it helps you to accumulate more merits and remove your bad karma. And Another blessed item that is easy to wear is the zi bead. I have already introduced the benefit of the zi bead. Originally, when the zi bead was created at the beginning, there for dispelling, the evil energy. At the beginning, they have a round eye there, and then eventually first they have only one eye, and then they have like 2 eyes or 3 eyes, and then 13 eyes. I heard that there are like even 33 eyes. It doesn't mean that the more eyes the better. So it's just in different styles. The function would be the same, the benefits would be similar. And so zi bead, from thousands of years till now, it helps to ward off the evil energy and all these the blessings we bless. All the Buddha light shine on these, and they will carry all these auspicious energy and to get rid of all these evil energy. And in addition to the power of the zi bead itself. So usually when we go to honor ancestors, when we put the food or other offerings there, then we will also offer the incense, right? So whether it is agave wood or sandalwood incense from Bodhi, of course, it would be even better. If it's from it's the JinBodhi sandalwood incense or agave wood incense, it would be best. And Grandmaster said, yes, ours really are the best because they are all pure sandalwood or agave wood. And some incense, they have artificial incense. In Tibet, I used to have, they burn those incense, and I think that they imported from India, but they were like chemical incense, and it's very harmful. But our incense, they are handmade in Taiwan. They're very very precious. I didn't realize before that these incense, these agave wood and sandalwood incense, they actually are more valuable than the gold. The longer you keep it, the more valuable they become. In Tibet, a lot of masters, they would purchase many different kinds of incense, different fragrance, good agave wood or sandalwood or white scent. White sandalwood. Before in the temple in Tibet, when I was there, there was a white sandalwood, but in the Cultural Revolution, the white sandalwood tree was cut. And so the people there, they cut only one thin piece from the tree. And when I smelled it, wow, my whole mind was refreshed. And so you can burn these incense. It can drive away the evil energy, and it's good also for the heart and for the kidney, and refreshing, and also can promote good sleep. If in the afternoon you burn sandalwood, it's really good for having a good sleep. If you have a child, a little kid at home, it can calm them down. And do you know that these incense it's edible? Yeah. Well, our incense, you can even put in the tea. It's very luxurious. Yeah, only like in Tibet, only the level like my master would have, can have the the priority of privilege of having these incense tea. Yeah. So right now we really need, especially in the pandemic, we need these incense. And if you want to honor ancestors, these good incense actually will help to hold them and support them to go up. And so also after you have been to a graveyard or a cemetery, there used to be a tradition in Christine said in my hometown that they say, oh, you don't want to go home right away, you want to go somewhere else first, or you have to cross over a fire or something, and maybe the incense would also help you, right? So Grandmaster said, I usually don't want to say that. I don't want you to have to be frightened. Because if you definitely need to honor your ancestor. Your ancestors won't harm you. But if you go to a cemetery with other, other people's tombs, whether the other souls would disturb you, I don't know. If you go to a funeral, and after a funeral, usually you don't want to go home directly. You want to go to maybe a market or maybe to a mall or maybe go to the temple first and then go home. And if you go home and if you have the incense, that will, the smoke will go around you. So this fragrance and this incense will drive away the unnecessary energy. Well, I don't want to tell you any, stories. I don't want you to be afraid, but yeah. So especially those lonely souls, they were maybe murdered or something, and they just are floating in the air, and they always want to disturb or find someone who can replace him. And so say for example a lady who drowned in the water, and maybe she wants to put somebody else in the water so that she can come back. And then, but if you have this incense and burn the incense around you, then you'll be safe. And if you go to those like funerals or to go to the cemetery, if you wear these blessed items, this helps to protect you. Whether you have them or not, after you come back, if you have the incense to burn around you, then this is good. And also the jade pendant. Can you show us that and introduce that? Okay, maybe you can bring that over. So we have two of them. They're actually antiques. It actually for dispelling evils and to connect to the divine. And they're from different dynasties. The upper one is actually from 5,000 years ago, from the Liangzhu culture time. It's about 5,000 years ago, that long time ago. And they look a little bit square. So this is for worshiping the earth and the god of earth. And there's a hole here. In Chinese they call it lezi. So that's from that time, and it's for dispelling evil. And it's this ring is like 3,000 years ago, like before the Zhou dynasty. Actually, the jade at that time not necessarily are Hetian jade. They are just a local jade. And these jade can last for so long. They are all connected to the divine. And these are jade lues, and there's a hole there that you can put strings in, and so that is a little square. So that's for, so if you are a real estate in a real estate field, or if you want to buy a good house, then it's good, that would be good for you. And this round one, the ring, is for worshiping heavens, or if you want the heaven to bless you. So those are usually for like prince or princesses, or so for them to be protected. And these jades are like the antenna, and when those wizards or witch are doing some ceremony, they help them to connect to the divine. And this, the lower one, this is a dragon. It's from 5,000 or 7,000 years ago, the original dragon shape. So you can understand this is another thing, which is tiger. In the past, the shape of dragon and the shape of tiger is very hard to distinguish, and so it depends on how you perceive this. I perceive it as a dragon shape. So when you wear it, it dispels evil, and it helps your business or career to prosper and full of energy. And when all these three are together, yeah, any one piece of the jade is already a gem. Today, if you have a new jade, it's also precious, but compared to these three jade, these are really gemstones. They're really very precious. And this one is actually extremely powerful. The upper one, it's another more square one. It is actually maybe you haven't known that before. It is like a mini jade cong. Those wizards, or when they're worshiping the earth, they have either the shape of eyes or a shape of dragon. They have different signs on it. This jade has been buried for a long time, so that's why it's already turned into like brownish or dark color. And so they have different ways of connection, and so they are when you wear it, then you can be you can ward off the evil energy, or or these epidemic disease. And in the middle, this ring is about 3,000, 5,000 years ago. And in ancient time, such a white jade is extremely precious, because Chinese people really treasure like very pure and white things, and this white jade is very precious. And the last one is an eagle. Many people don't know what it is. It's actually an eagle. In the Chinese history, I don't know about in the European history. So the flying eagle, or the on the land, it's the bears that are very much respected, and eagles can hunt something, and it also represents that they are, well, ancient people think that they are the ambassador of heaven. So when you wear it, you would be full of energy, and wherever you go, you'll be successful. Whatever you do, you'll be successful. So, and that's why that's why in Chinese, hero is called yin xiong, and yin is eagle and xiong is bear. So originally, hero is a combination of eagle and bear. And there's another saying in the feng shui or physiognomy, yeah. So when you see that eagle, what do you feel? If you're silent for half a minute, maybe you don't know. If someone has a very long-shaped trouble, like maybe the spirit of a snake or a ghost of snake, then where the eagle, jade eagle, would be the best way to conquer that. And especially because this jade eagle is over 5,000 years. It's for ancient people to do, these rituals to connect to the divine. And when I put all these three together, this is like, it's just beyond words. Yeah. So those who can purchase it, should they wear it with them on their body? Yeah, it's best for you to wear them on your body, and you can also wear them separately. Thousands of years ago, at that time, those psychics and mediums has already put that, the charm there. And so in this season, I'm actually giving this at a price at my cost. I don't really want you to purchase it because this is so hard for you to find. I don't think you can find a second one of it. We don't have fake ones here. All the good things here are authentic ones. And I don't really want you to purchase it because they're so precious. Yeah, only those very virtuous ones can have the fortune to wear these. So these three are very suitable for maybe a whole family, maybe a family of three. Say, for example, the dragon can be for, maybe the child can wear the dragon. So because Chinese people want their children to be dragons. And then there is the heaven and the earth. Yeah, usually Chinese people consider father as the heaven and mother as the earth. And so, wow, yeah. So it's really suitable for a whole family. You've never known that such a small gem, it's actually has already transcended through all like 5,000 years. If Grandmaster didn't introduce to us, we don't know at all what it means. Yeah, those people who understand this, it's so much more precious than diamond or those who wear diamond or gold, they're just but those who wear these are really, really, wealthy and prosperous people and noble person. And also, there is a statue. It's like a goddess or maybe a bodhisattva. It's very rare. And can we learn something about this today? Can I invite you to introduce this statue to everyone? Well, let me try. So this is a statue of Vajravarahi. This is in the Tantra Buddhism, the Tibetan Tantra Buddhism. A lot of the high-level enlightened masters, they take refuge in this Vajravarahi as their cardinal teacher. And so or she's called Vajrayogini. So he has the supreme wisdom and passing through in the air, and also passing down all these secret teachings. Okay, so Joy said this is like a goddess of enlightenment, and she's also called the essence of all Buddhas, and her practice includes methods for preventing ordinary death and for transforming all mundane daily experience into higher spiritual paths. Why it is red? This red actually will also represent it is a color of fire. So the aura, the whole circle of the aura is the flame, and it also represents that her power will reach all the 10 directions of the Dharma realm. And from in our practice, if we try to connect with Vajravarahi, then she will give us a lot of inspiration and bestow us with Dharma power, so that we can very quickly to attain a perfect wisdom. And also from her from her iconography, you can see that there are lots of Dharma tools. We don't know what is that, Dharma stick, or it's very powerful, looks very powerful. This Dharma stick or this can break through all the obstacles and enemies and all the obstacles in our wisdom, and definitely it can also catch the demons and also the demonic spirits. And also it can help us to break through all the 5 poisons and our humanly designs, like to break through the greed, anger and ignorance. And even though the color is red, it also represents a pure wisdom. In Tibetan Tantra Buddhism, we know that Guanyin Bodhisattva's manifestation is the white Tara, is the green Tara and the white Tara. And this Vajravarahi is also manifestation of these taras, and it's very auspicious and very very auspicious. And if we can have the fortune to offer at home, it can help to the house to be very safe and to dispel all the demonic energy and allow our physical body to be very healthy, and can extend our lifespan and acquire longevity, because she's also like a different manifestation of Guanyin Bodhisattva and can help the whole family to have the perfect wisdom. So very healthy and longevity security and safe house, safe family. Who doesn't want that? And with this powerful Dharma stick, and it helps us to drive away all the obstacles, and so she will bless us to keep away all the obstacles. So whatever calamity in our life, when we very respectfully offer and revere the Vajravarahi, then Grandmaster said, if those who make offerings, offer at home, you won't have any calamities, because she will dispel all the calamities for you. So Christine had a very good introduction. So in ancient times, practitioners, those through their divine eyes, when they travel in different realms, they saw this deity. She's in all 6 realms, and can it's beyond all these powers. And so when you make offerings to her, then you can receive all of that. And she also has a very wrathful expression. And so that actually gives us the message that compassion doesn't have to be manifested in a very gentle way. Compassion's form doesn't have to be in a very gentle form. Only the internal compassion is true compassion. The external form might be illusion, but in that, this is the true form of that. And in the history, they, those practitioners through their divine eyes, they see this form, and so they made this statue. So there are lots of these statues are beyond our perception sometimes, and also this Vajravarahi, and and also the statue that we introduced yesterday, which is the Mahakala Buddha statue, are revered by Grandmaster for many years in Grandmaster's meditation hall. And so because the world is in so many chaos, and Grandmaster allow these to be released, to allow us to purchase it, it's because Grandmaster has already sensed that there's need in this world, and including those lights, those pacifying souls and pacifying the house, those lights to pacify the souls and house. It's because there are many people who need them. Yes, Grandmaster said, yes. Before, there are lots of people asking me in the tantric Buddhism, there's some of the statues, they're in a very wrathful form. Why is that? So my understanding is that in our life, sometimes some obstacles are so terrible, and we don't have any wisdom or any energy to face that. And in our life, there are lots of things that we cannot do anything about it, because we're out of energy we cannot overcome those obstacles. And in the human realm, a lot of things, including our courage, and sometimes some people would suddenly, maybe without any reason, you would have that fear. Maybe your heart would be trembling, and some people, maybe they're just live for the purpose of fear. They are always afraid, and especially a lot of girls or ladies, and some men and boys too. And when such a great deity is actually telling us, I already have such a terrible form. Is there any other form more terrible than me? Yeah, all the evil or demonic energy or spirit, when they see this statue, they will be frightened and they will fled and just never dare to even approach. And so if you offer this statue at home, and then all your restless and uneasiness, and yeah, for some Buddhist practitioners, maybe you suddenly have an obstacle you just cannot go through, you cannot elevate. And then Vajravarahi is like a very strong father. It's like, okay, my child, come with me, don't be afraid. It's like that. And so in the tantric statues, sometimes the forms are sometimes like heavenly God, or sometimes they're like yaksha, sometimes they're like a demon even. I even saw a yaksha face before. Only this face can conquer all those demons, and because he is the energy and he is the essence of the terror, and all the other spirits will be afraid of him. So because you are offering them, how can you be afraid of any other spirits? Right? And so whatever obstacles you might have, maybe in your life or in your practice, all the obstacles will be broken through, and they will definitely bring us to the other shore of enlightenment. Okay? All right. So we've already spent a lot of time today. Tomorrow we'll continue to chant every day. To chant very little bit time like this is exceptionally important. Every day when we chant, we will have the sweet saliva, and we will feel very easeful and free. So wish everybody health, longevity, and your body and mind will be healthy and at peace. And well, see you tomorrow.
小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣。 奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了，因为有了你，了解生命的真理，修行的理，因为有了你，日子犹如彩虹般美丽。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了，我快乐了，我美丽了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与您相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了，因为有了你，生命变得更坚定。